Welcome to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Namofsky. How many of you work with managers or are leaders that lead with outdated leadership practices? Now, you'll know if you're old school if you hear, "Don't bring me problems, bring me solutions." Many individuals are promoted on their rock star performance, but that doesn't mean that they will succeed as a good manager. Today, we'll address and discuss outdated management habits that companies still embrace. And guess what? Employees are not always the problem. Today, I'm joined by Corina Walsh, CEO and founder of Shift People Development, Inc. Corina is also the author of Modern Manager, Conquering the 5 Frustrations of Leadership. Corina, welcome to Empowered. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I've enjoyed your book. I've been reading it. Let's begin. What is a modern manager?
A modern manager is a leader who has the skills to inspire performance from their team as opposed to having to be a driver of performance with their team. So today's employee really wants to know that their manager cares about them. It's not enough just to hit KPIs and hit the goals. You have to actually care about the future of your employees. You have to know how to develop them. So a modern manager has that broad people-centric leadership skill set that really allows them to inspire and motivate their team. So it's not just technical abilities, you have to have this suite of people skills as well.
And that's evolved so much through the years. Why do women need to care about showing up as a modern manager?
Women specifically need to care about this skill set because it's about their resilience. So if you don't have the skills that you need to do something, obviously it's going to drain you quite a bit. And what I'm hearing from my clients, from my corporate clients I work with, is that they're even struggling to get some women to fill management roles. Women are saying no to stepping up and taking on that extra responsibility because they're seeing how difficult the role is, how stressful it can be. And I say, but wait, if you support these female leaders with the skill sets, with the leadership development that they need, it won't be nearly as stressful. And then they can thrive in those roles and they can remain resilient. You don't have to burn out in a leadership role. If you have the tools you need, it can actually be an enjoyable career process for you.
And I love the fact that you just said that because through the years, especially the past maybe 2 or 3 years, I've read so many articles about women being promoted because corporations want to have women in leadership roles. However, they don't have the tools to support these women. And unfortunately, they end up failing because they don't have that support system.
Absolutely, and that is a reality. And it's a reality for all leaders, male, female. But I mean, you can't expect someone to just automatically be good at leading others and getting performance from others just because you were a good performer and good at your job. So you have to equip people, especially women, with the right leadership skills and the leadership development to do their job.
So in the introduction, I talked about employees are not always the problem. Would you please explain this?
Well, an employee can only really perform at the level of their manager. And so, what happens when managers come through my program is that they start to have these aha moments and they say things like, oh, I wasn't communicating effectively. I'm working with an incomplete delegation process. I don't fully understand what's all the nuances that's involved with delegating. And so then the manager starts to realize that the employee's performance is impacted by their leadership style, their ability to communicate, their ability to delegate. And that's why the employee is not always the problem. Getting results, getting performance is a two-way street. The employee has to bring their best self and their energy to work, but you have to have a good leader who understands how to communicate, delegate, give good feedback, coach the employee for higher levels of performance. So it's definitely a two-way street when it comes to getting performance.
And I love the fact that you talked about communication, because to me, that is the number one thing, regardless of what the relationship is, whether it's personal, friendship, work. Communication to me is the number one thing. And the one thing that I like that you just said too, that's important to me, with people that I manage, I think it's really important to mentor them through the day. And not just, sitting down at the end of the month or whatever, but every day to me is a mentorship day. And every day to me is a learning day with an aha moment. And I think it's important for managers to actually take the time and spend that time with everyone that they manage. So please don't go away. We'll be right back with more Corina Walsh and all that she has to teach us.